The world's fairs, impossible history, description. Explore the mysterious and fascinating history of the world's fairs. Do the most magnificent buildings you've ever seen get built in a month? In this series, we delve into the marvels and mysteries of these grand expositions. Hundreds of fairs, covering vast areas, seem to appear and disappear overnight. Discover the secrets behind these incredible events. Welcome to the start of an incredible multi-part series on the world's fairs, one of the most fascinating topics that few have heard of because these glorious events, thrown all around the world, are excluded from worldwide school curriculum. There were at least hundreds of these fairs spanning over a century, yet not a peep about them during the entirety of our 10-plus years of a class that is supposed to teach us about those who came before us. By the end of this series, you may discover that a world's fair took place, quite literally, in your own backyard, then quickly vanished without a trace left behind. We have to remember the history we are taught. When the brave settlers arrived in America, there was nothing until those good men built it all for us. We are told these heroes had no electricity, therefore no real tools, no vehicles, planes, or railroads. All they had was horses and wagons, shovels, pickaxes, and elbow grease. Because one of this existed. Yet they built buildings like this, and this, using this. But it wasn't just jaw-dropping hospitals, schools, insane asylums, and government buildings. They also created the world's fairs, also referred to as exposition. The stated purpose of these fairs was nothing more than to showcase the achievements of nations. Although the buildings themselves are remarkable, what's even more amazing is how quickly history claims they were constructed. For example, the Chicago World's Fair, also known as the Columbian Exposition, occurred in 1893. The event grounds spans 700 square miles. Map World's Fair 1893, souvenir map of the world's Columbian Exposition at Jackson Park and Midway Plaisance in Chicago, Illinois. And it was all built in only 2 years. The Manufacturers and Liberal Arts Building at this expo held 300,000 people and featured 10,000 electric lights just on the outside of it. These are all photos of the Manufacturers Building. The state of California showed off their produce in the California Building. It alone measured 100,000 square feet and showcased pears the size of turnips. Quite a feat to pull off in 24 months. The explanation history provides is that all of these buildings were just temporary displays, thrown together for show. More on this later in the series. But first, the Louisville, Kentucky Exposition World's Fair of 1884 was scheduled to run for only 2 total months. It spanned 45 acres with a main building covering 13 of them. An advertisement for the Southern Exposition at Louisville, Kentucky. The building featured 5,000 light bulbs and 5,000 lamps, 400 of which were used in the art gallery, in 1884, only 2 years after the very first installation of a power grid in America. How long did construction take? Several months to a year. This included clearing and preparation of the site. The Trans-Mississippi Exposition of 1893 covered 180 acres. The entire fairground was roughly equivalent to 270 standard American football fields. They even dug the lakes, streams, and channels just for the fair. Not kidding. Visitors ride in boats on a man-made lagoon on the grounds of the Trans-Mississippi Exposition in 1898. Omaha, Nebraska, USA. Want to guess how long this one took to build? From start to finish, construction was complete in 12 to 14 months. The Centennial Exposition was held in Nashville, Tennessee in 1897 and spanned 117 acres. It took 2 years to complete. In 1884, an expo held in New Orleans, Louisiana called the World Cotton Centennial. The site began being prepped for construction in 1882. The fair opened in 1884. This got me wondering, how many people lived in these cities at the time? To create something of this magnitude so quickly, a large quantity of men must have been working on it, right? Yet when you look up New Orleans economy records for the same years as the construction of the fair, they say the main employment industries were port and shipping, service sector, hotels, restaurants, manufacturing, sugar refining, tobacco processing, and plantation. Nowhere on that list is architecture or building. I guess they imported mass quantities of builders? California hosted 3 World's Fairs. The first was the California Midwinter International Exposition of 1894. It covered 200 acres. Construction took under 1 year. The second Cali event was the 636-acre Panama Pacific International Exposition of 1915. This one was lightning fast to build. Only 6 to 9 months. If we do the math, a 6-month build time means they would have had to build over 100 acres per month, over 3 acres per day, and that excludes the time required to clear the land prior to beginning construction. The third fair in California was the Golden Gate International Exposition, 1939 to 1940. It spanned 400 acres. The construction of Treasure Island began in 1936, and it was completed in 1937. There are hundreds of additional fairs and expositions that we know of. Point being, the speed at which they used to build was quite astonishing. Many years ago, when my children were young, the spouse and I looked at new construction homes because our current house felt so small. We discovered the building process takes around a year for a 2,300 square feet house. Now imagine 400 acres of buildings 10x the size. This leads many of us to question if what history is claiming is remotely possible. If it is not possible to build 600 acres of this in 6 months, then it means the structures were already existing, meaning they found a mini-city and threw an event within it, claiming to have built it when no such thing ever occurred, and this is what we will diving deep into in this series. But before we move on, just to be completely clear, the fair organizers did indeed build some buildings, but you can easily tell which ones they are. For instance, this is one of the buildings they made. It came toppling down. Conclusion. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the mysterious history of the world's fairs. As we uncover the marvels and secrets of these grand expositions, we invite you to continue exploring and questioning the narratives we've been taught. The world's fairs are a gateway to understanding a hidden past that reveals so much about our present and future. To delve even deeper into these fascinating topics and explore more intriguing content, head over to Agent131711 Substack. There, you'll find a wealth of information and perspectives that will further ignite your curiosity and expand your understanding. Stay tuned for more episodes in this series, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for updates on our latest discoveries. Thank you for your support, and happy exploring!